Good evening to you, my friends. It is a pleasure to come and to talk with you, and to, yes, bring you some upliftment within yourselves as we endeavour to touch your spirituality, the real you, the person that you are of spirit, you see, because you are on your own individual pathway of unravelling your own spiritual potential. And it will not be suddenly that it all happens, for it is a gradual process, and that is why you spend some time in your earthly years with your spirit encased within your body. And you know, it is prompting you all of the time to go forward, to bring forward that light of God's love, and the expression that is that of the spiritual essence of life. For with each one of you, you have those that attach themselves to you, whether they be family, friends, or those that you have not given a name to. But there are spiritual people that are there from the spirit realm that attach themselves to you to guide you through your life, not by talking directly to you, but by standing beside you, most of the time unseen, but prompting you to go forward in your understanding of life and all the issues that are thrown up in your material world. And yes, it does seem dark and gloomy to you some of the time. And when your news is given to you, you know, in a certain regard it is censored, because how many people give to you good news? It is always doom and gloom, and that does indeed deflate your enthusiasm, deflate your positivity, so that doubt creeps in to your spiritual understanding. And so it is that we need all of the time channels that we can use to show to you things that are positive, to show to you how the power of the Spirit can indeed move mountains, you know, because sometimes you are given tasks to do that seem at the outset insurmountable for you, the individual. But nevertheless, when you put your mind to things, you accomplish a great deal. And you know, just to give a kind word, a smile, a thought to somebody else, then you are doing the work of the Spirit and the work of God the Father. And so it is that you understand that you have to take small steps in your own lives to accomplish great things. And when you return to the spirit world, you will see all of your accomplishments, and you will not have failed in any regard. You may think that you have not been given enough time on the earth, or that your loved ones have not been given enough time, especially if they transcend to the spirit world at an early age in your earth years. Then you think that their life has been cut short. But we can tell to you that their life has been the allotted span that was required for their spirit to learn certain aspects of a physical life. And once that has been accomplished, the next stage is to transcend the world of matter back to the spiritual realms of light and love, and to be in an existence that works unceasingly to bring that light into your earth environment. And you know, there are too many that are warmongers, shall we say, in your world, and are not happy unless there is friction between this, that, and the other. Whereas in point of fact, what we all pray for in your world and ours is peace. And what we would say to you is that you have firstly to find peace within your very being. And sometimes that is difficult when you are living your life in the physical world, in the world of materialism, and you get caught up in what you may term the rat race of life. But we make allowances for all that you do and do not do, because you have to open your heart and your mind to the influence of those that walk with you, to help you along the way. Too many complain that when they are in need, they do not seem to have the spirit world beside them. And yet, you know, there is that famous poem called Footprints that explains that when you were in need, there was only one set of footprints in the sand, because that was when God was carrying you, and it's God's footprints that are there. And so when you think that the spirit world are moving you forward in your understanding, in the giving of yourself, in service to the Great Spirit, then you cannot fail, and you will be carried forward in your life, and you will surmount all those obstacles before you. You will surmount the tragedy of losing a loved one or friend from the physical world. But remember, they are not lost in the spiritual world. They are alive and well and have a life that continues. And so it is that you give to them every opportunity of communicating with you, because you know they are happy at the release from the physical bonds of life. They are happy back in our world, and yet they have time to support you, to give you strength, to give you their love. That, of course, is unconditional. And so we need you all to spread that message, because too many are in fear of the unknown. They think that for the spirit to live on is a fallacy, whereas in fact it is a truth of spiritual understanding, of the spiritual laws. For the spirit is an energy, and energy will not die, it will only transform itself. Look at your caterpillars that transform into beautiful butterflies and have a different life altogether. And so it is that the life in the spiritual realms is different. It's a different aspect altogether of understanding. And with your logical thinking mind, things do not make sense. But when you link with that spirit within, you will understand that those loved ones live on, that they have life anew. You're going to say a new life, which is true, to a greater or lesser degree, because it depends on their spiritual understanding when they were on the earth. And so you can always expand your spiritual understanding and your spiritual awareness, and that is what we ask of each individual. You do not have to belong to any organization to do just that. Within your world there are too many that seem to be, in your news today, radicalized into understanding that they have to be a martyr to God in order to have eternal life. It is so sad that this happens in your world, there is so many, you see, that have this spiritual understanding that is misplaced by those that want to gain power over your world, the earth world, and it will not be and cannot be allowed to happen. And that is why we ask you to use a modern phrase to become workers of light, or light workers, because you have to have the right motive, you see, and that motive has to be one of unconditional love. You do not do something for someone else in order to gain in the material sense. You do it in order that you bring love forward, because it is love in action, or shall we say spirit in action, that brings your world around to that spiritual understanding of the continuous existence of the human soul. And that is the truth. That is the beginning and the end of the matter. And so it is that there is much to be learnt within your material physical world about life, about the continuation of life, about the messages and communication from your loved ones in the ministry of angels, because we are all busy in our world bringing that light forward to dispel the darkness and fear of many in your world. And so it is that you have to be understanding of your own spirituality. You all have a passion for life. You all want to experience love from God the Father. And that is all that it is about in essence. For your spirit within will respond to God's love. And then you will be on what we may term a mission in life, to help yourself, and then helping others in your own understanding and with your own belief system in the fact that the spirit has an eternity with which to progress, which means that you cannot fail. Failure is not in the plan of God the Father. Positivity is all that you need to keep hold of as you go forward, ignoring all that is happening in the wider world and concentrating what is happening within you, within your own communication with others, within your own communication with the spirit world. And so let us all march forward together in the light of the Great Spirit, of God's light. For there are many masters that have come to the earth to show you the way of the Spirit, not to fight one with the other over a certain belief structure, but to come together in unity of love for one another, for the spirit world, that continue to serve whatever you get up to in your life. They will not fail you. They will always support and encourage you to go forward, to not be a fight, as some of these extremists seem to think that it is. It will not happen in a blinding flash, as was said in that reading, but each one can contribute to bringing that light and being a channel for the spirit realms to use, so that people can be trustworthy of themselves and know that they are on a sure footing to channel the energy of the love of God the Father. And so we say to you, my friends, blessings from the spirit realms of life, and please take forward that upliftment and that positivity that will have touched your spirit just because you have congregated here this evening in this house of worship and praise and work of healing and light. And so we say to you, a good evening and God bless.